am a teacher. All I ever wanted to become a teacher. Guess what made a difference in my life? A teacher. If you're proud to be one, let me hear you say, I'm a teacher.
My name is Vincent Taylor, and I've been in education for 29 years. 15 of those years, classroom teacher. I did 1 year as a fourth grade teacher, and the other 14, fifth grade teacher. And now for the last 12 years, I've been an academic coach where I get the privilege, the honor of working alongside my colleagues and supporting them in the areas of mathematics. Today, I wanted to talk about one topic that is huge in the teaching profession. So for those of you who are thinking about becoming a teacher, or those of you who are already in the profession and may struggle in this particular area, I just wanted to share some insight on classroom management. Oh yeah, I know a lot of you all are shaking your head like, oh yes, classroom management. It's a big thing. It is truly a big thing. I'll just start with saying this. Many of you have probably heard of this adage. It says, don't smile until Christmas. Well, what that means for us as teachers is put your foot down, don't you play, don't you smile, don't you do anything. You let those kids know, I don't play. Well, I'm a firm believer. First of all, I totally disagree with that. I dislike that adage so much because, yeah, you need to smile. You need to smile today, tomorrow, and the rest of the 178 days. You can be an educator who put your foot down, but still come off as, you know what, this is an awesome teacher. You're smiling with your students. You're having fun with your class as you're teaching them. So, you don't have to not smile when it comes to classroom management. But let me take you back to when I first stepped into the classroom in 1997. 1997. I wanted to be the fun teacher. And I was all about student engagement. So what could I do to make sure the students had fun in my class? That was my focus. Well, I quickly learned that I had to not only be that fun and engaging teacher, but I had to establish some classroom rituals and routines because things quickly got out of hand. As a matter of fact, I did a survey with some of my students, and at the end of the year, I would ask them, hey, I want you to write on a sheet of paper, what is it that Mr. Taylor needs to work on? You all are in my class learning and walking away with something, but I also want to walk away with something as a teacher. I want to grow. So what is it that Mr. Taylor needs to work on? So the top part of the paper, they would write all the things they loved about my class. And the bottom part, they would write about all the things that I needed to work on. Would you believe I had about 3 students pretty much say the same thing. 3 fifth graders said the same thing. And these were the words of one of the students. They said, Mr. Taylor, you need to be more mean. I was like, wow. So let me read between the lines. What are they really saying? They are simply saying, hey, you need to mean what you say. I was the teacher who was given 1,000 chances. All right, now, do it again. Hey, do it again. Watch what happened. They quickly read through that. And, we had fun in my class, but they weren't listening the way that I needed them to. So I say to you all, be firm. Show that love, though, as you're teaching. Show that love. You can do that. But have your rituals and routines. And as a matter of fact, you all know, I'm sure you learned this when you were in college. What did they tell us? Have the students help you put together these rituals and routines because they then have ownership of what the rules are, what the routines are. So I would definitely encourage having them be a part of that process of rituals and routines. I'm a firm believer that leniency is key. We got to give students an opportunity. We have to give them a chance, a second chance and everything. So as you are establishing your rituals and routines, Yes, leniency is important. However, they need to know what your non-negotiables are. And what I mean by that is, this is the thing you don't get a break on. This is the thing where you don't get a second chance. They know when they do this thing one time, they're gone. Some type of consequence is going to happen. And for me, I'm big on respect, y'all. Oh my gosh. I'm so big on respect. And I think the reason well, first of all, it's very important that we give and we always want to receive respect, of course. But I made it a habit from day one when I stepped into class, room 14 at John Love Elementary. I'm empowering my students to the point where I'm calling them Mr. and Mrs. and Doctor and Scientist. I'm always trying to find a way to make them feel good about who they are. So with that empowerment, I want that respect in return. And when it doesn't happen, I don't hide behind anything. I let them know, oh no, Mr. Taylor doesn't like that. And there will be a consequence. And the consequence doesn't always have to be punitive. You don't always have to write a referral, but something has to happen so that they'll know. I can be a kid. I can jump around. I can, make noise. I can do these things. I can break those kind of rules. And I might get in trouble, or he might call my mom and dad. He might stop me from going to resource. But if I do this, if I disrespect him, oh, I know something's going to happen. So establish your non-negotiables so that they'll know who you are. That's who I am as an individual. I don't care who the person is. I don't care what is done. I'm not going to go out my way. I'm not going to disrespect anyone. I'm not going to embarrass any kid. I'm not going to do that. I let them know, this is our classroom. Yes, I'm the teacher, so I will make sure this ship runs in a smooth way. So I don't have to threaten them with, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. No, I'm not going to raise my voice. I'm going to tell you what the rituals and routines are, and I'm going to enforce whatever consequences I have in place, because that's what we decided on. That's what we talked about. Establish your non-negotiables. And it's so sad, but let me tell you, when I came out of college, I thought I was the rock star. I knew everything there was when it came to teaching and learning. But I quickly learned that I did not have all the answers. There's some teachers who will run circles around me when it comes to teaching and learning. Their pedagogy is intact, y'all. But there was only one problem: classroom management. And because of that, I've seen many teachers leave the profession. Leave the profession because they weren't able to get their classroom management to a point where they could have a successful class. So I don't know how many classes are offered when it comes to, taking classroom management classes in college. But I'll say to anyone who's looking to come into this profession, know that this is one variable that could truly make or break you. It's nothing, like I said, it's nothing you have to be scared of. It's nothing that you have to come into the door feeling like you have to be the meanest person in the world. You can be the nicest person in the world, but your students will know who you are, and they will understand your rituals and routines, and things will go smoothly because of that. All right, so I want to leave you with this question. Just something to ponder, just so we can establish just how important classroom management is. So I asked the question, which one do you think is most important? Classroom management or student engagement? Now, I know what you're thinking. They're both. They're one of the same. You have to pick one, and you have to decide not only which one is most important, but I want you to give me some percentages. So out of 100%, what percentage is classroom management? what percentage is student engagement. And of course, there's so many other variables, like the one that is at the top of my list is developing a rapport with students. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in another video. But just for today, if those were the only two variables you could choose between, what percentage goes to classroom management? What percentage goes to student engagement? As far as the importance of those two things in your classroom. All right, well, that's it for today. Again, I'm a teacher, and I just wanted to share just some of the things that I've experienced as a classroom teacher when it comes to classroom management. I wish you much success. Those of you who are looking to come into this profession, it is one of the best professions one could decide to be a part of. And for those of you who are currently a teacher, whether you are a novice teacher or a veteran, I wish you continued success because your students depend on you being so effective that they walk away with a wealth of information and empowered to conquer the world. So thank you. Again, my name is Vincent Taylor, and I'll talk to you later.
I am a teacher. All I ever wanted to become a teacher. Guess what made a difference in my life? A teacher. If you're proud to be one, let me hear you say, I'm a teacher.